Hello students, I Divya Meena welcome you in the class of English Literature of BA Part 2nd year. Today we will study the poem Night of the Scorpion written by Nissim Ezekiel. This poem is taken from the collection of the poem of Nissim Ezekiel entitled The Exact Name. This volume of poems was published in 1965. The poem Night of the Scorpion reads like a story. Here the speaker narrates a story about his mother. His mother was stung by a scorpion in the night time when it was raining heavily. The whole poem narrates the story of the pain tolerated by the mother of the narrator. The incident itself may also be actual or imaginary, but it is a perfectly realistic incident. Let us begin with the poem. I remember the night my mother was stung by a scorpion. 10 hours of steady rain had driven him to crawl beneath a sack of rice. Parting with his poison flash of diabolic tail in the dark room, he risked the rain again. I remember. Here the narrator says that he remembered the night when her mother was stung by a scorpion. 10 hours of steady rain. There was a continuous rain. It had been raining for 10 hours. That a scorpion came out and entered into the house and came beneath a sack of rice, parting with his poison, and he left his poison into my mother by stinking her flash of diabolic tail in the dark room. Here the diabolic means devilish. The devilish or the evil tail of the scorpion, that the poison which was filled in the tail of the scorpion, he injected that poison into the flesh of the mother of the narrator. He risked the rain again, and after stinking my mother, the scorpion went again into the rain. He went outside the house. The peasants came like swarms of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. With candles and with lanterns, throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud-bagged walls, they searched for him. He was not found. The peasants came like swarms of flies. Swarms here means, the word swarm here means large numbers. So the neighbors, who were the peasants, came into the house as if the flies come, as if the flies comes into a large number of group. So many people came into the house when my mother was stung by the scorpion and buzzed the name of God 100 times. And they uttered, here the word buzz means uttered. They uttered the name of God. They were praying God many times to paralyze the evil one. To paralyze, it means to render ineffective. They uttered the name of God in order to disinfect the sting of the scorpion. With candles and with lanterns, throwing gant scorpion shadows on the mud-bagged walls, they searched for him. The peasants of the neighborhood came with the light of the candles and lanterns, as in the villages there is no light. So they came with the light of the candles and lanterns and throwing gant scorpion shadows on the mud-backed walls. And they were all searching the scorpion in order to kill the scorpion, and their shadows were visible on the walls which were made of mud. They searched for him. They were searching, all the peasants were searching for the scorpion. He was not found, but the scorpion was not found. They clicked their tongues. With every moment that the scorpion made, his poison moved in mother's blood. They said, "May he sit still." They said, "May the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight." They said, "May your suffering decrease the misfortunes of your next birth." They said, "May the sum of all evil balanced in this unreal world against the sum of good become diminished by your pain. May the poison purify your flesh of desire and your spirit of ambition." They said, and they sat around on the floor with my mother in the center. The peace of understanding on each face. They clicked their tongues. The peasants produced sound of disappointment and sadness with their tongues. They felt sad because they had not been able to find the scorpion. With every moment that the scorpion met, his poison moved in mother's blood. They said, here they words refers to the peasants who were the believer that who believe that if the scorpion make any kind of movement, then the poison in the body of narrator's mother will increase the pain. So the pain and the groaning depends upon the movement of the scorpion. May he sit still, they said. They said, the peasants wish and pray to God that may the scorpion sit still and don't make any movement. May the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight. They said. The peasants were talking to each other that um, may the sins of your previous birth be burnt away tonight, that all the sins which were done by mother in the previous birth will end with this painful night. May your suffering decrease the misfortunes of your next birth, and with this painful night, the misfortunes of the next birth will be decreased, and the suffering which she will face in her next life will also diminish. May the sum of all evil balanced in this unreal world against the sum of good become diminished by your pains. And again, the peasants were talking to each other that all of the evils, all of the bad works done by mother will end in this world, and he will not carry the burden of the evil in the next birth. So with the pain, all of the evil and misfortunes will diminish in this world. May the poison purify your flesh of desire and your spirit of ambitions. And they also believe that the poison of the scorpion will purify the mother's flesh of desire and the spirit of ambition, they said. And they sat around on the floor with my mother in the center. All these things they were talking to each other, and all of the peasants sat around the mother of the narrator, who was laying on the floor in the center, and all of the peasants were sitting around the mother. The peace of understanding on each face. Every person of the neighborhood was understanding the suffering and pain which was tolerated by the mother of the narrator. More candles, more lantern, more neighbors, more insects, and the endless rain. And more people were gathering there. So they were coming with the candles, and so there were more lanterns were there, more neighbors were there, and more insects were there. Insects were coming because of the light of the candles and lanterns in the night time. And as there was rain outside, and the endless rain, and the rain also seemed to be endless as the pain of the mother. My mother twisted through and through, grown on a mat. The mother of the narrator was moving her body because of the pain, and she was groaning while she was laying on the mat. My father, skeptic, rationalist, trying every curse and blessing, powder, mixture, herb, and hybrid. The father of the narrator was a skeptic person. Skeptic is a person who does not accept the orthodox religious beliefs. He is a non-believer. And rationalist is a person who believes in the reason, not in the superstitions. So, being a rationalist and skeptic, he tried everything. He not only prayed to the God, but also tried the other methods to cure the narrator's mother. Powder, mixture, herb, and hybrid. Herb means medical plant, and hybrid also means mixed, a combination of herbs. So he tried everything to reduce the pain of my mother, being a skeptic and rationalistic person. He even poured a little paraffin. Paraffin is a kind of oil which is used to make candles. So he also poured a little paraffin upon the beaten toe and put a match to it. So he poured some paraffin on the flesh, on the part of the body which was stung by the scorpion, as the scorpion stung on the toe of the narrator's mother. So he poured some paraffin upon the beaten toe and also applied a burning matchstick. I watched the flame feeding on my mother. The narrator here says that he saw the flames when his father applied a burning matchstick on the paraffins. I watched the holy man perform his rites to tame the poison with an incarnation. The child or the narrator also watched a religious minded man performing certain rites to nullify the effect of the scorpion's poison and invoking the aid of the holy powers when he was chanting the mantras. Incantations means chanting mantras, reciting of holy words. After 20 hours, it lost its sting. And after the long time of 20 hours, the scorpion's sting lost its effect. And the mother of the narrator had no longer felt the pain of it. My mother only said, "Thank God the scorpion picked on me and spared my child." When the mother came in sense and with the end of the suffering of the pain, the mother of the narrator simply said and simply thanked God even after suffering and with lots of pain of 20 hours. Even after the pain of the 20 hours, he thanked She thanked to God that scorpion chose her for its sting and spared his child. At the end, the mother simply said that she was thankful to God for the scorpion's choice of her, for his sting, and for his not biting her, any of her children. The poem, so the theme of the poem of the Night of the Scorpion is very simple. Here we see the many aspects of the world, uh, like magic, superstition, science, rationality, and also maternal affections. So it is a very simple poem written by nissim ezekiel.